जो हमारे panelists हैं, these are the real people from the industry, representing the industry, and I think they would have a better practicality angle and a very better enhancement of how it should really be. So, to invite first the moderator for the panel discussion, Mr. Rohit Kashyap, the founder and CEO of Maitri School of Entrepreneurship, Karamveer Chakra, a keynote speaker featured on Your Story, TOI and Live Mint. Please give it up for our moderator for this panel discussion, Rohit Kashyap. Joining the panelists, the list of panelists, joining him on the podium, Ojasvi Bhatia, the director for Head Start. Can we have you on the podium, sir? Mr. Nitin Sethi, the SVP, Chief Digital Officer, Consumer Business at the Adani Group. Nitin sir, can we have you quickly? Our third panelist, Mr. Vinay Singhal, the co-founder and CEO, Stage, building a premium and sensible content company for Bharat. I like the word sensible content, which is pretty much the world that the thing that world needs right now. Our fourth panelist is Mr. Aditya Shankar Prasad, the Advocate Supreme Court of India and managing partner at the Prasad and Associates. And last on the list of panelists, we have Arunabh Sinha, the founder and CEO, Uclean. All right, give it up for our 6 people on stage.
Yeah, hello everyone, namaste. So I hope lunch करने के बाद आप सभी को नींद नहीं आ रही होगी. Like जब मैं स्कूल में था तो like lunch के बाद obvious नींद आती थी. Okay. आई होप आप लोगों को नींद नहीं आ रही होगी. आप लोग तो एकेडमिशियन खुद हो और प्रिंसिपल ओनर्स हो स्कूल के. ओके तो आप लोगों का काम तो बेसिकली बच्चों को नींद से जगाना होता है. ओके सो वी हैव दिस पैनल इज ऑल अबाउट प्रिपेयरिंग स्टूडेंट्स फॉर workforce by aligning education with industry needs. Okay, so it is one of the most underrated topic that is discussed in the school field, but it is one of the most important topic because as you know, like there are lots of students who comes out of schools and colleges and they are ready for facing the world, but they don't have any skills. They don't have like industry skills. Okay, and that's why they are unable to take jobs or start something or fail at business. Okay, so here we have all the guests from like different fields. Some of them are like good managers, some are them are good entrepreneurs, some of them are like good digital platform owners. Okay, so let's start with first. I have Mr. Nitin Sethi ji from Adani Group. My first question is from him. Okay, so Nitin ji, as you know, like there are lots of students who comes out of college. Okay, and you hire a lot of students who comes out of the college. So what are the skills you think they need and school should teach or college should teach them?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for having me here. It's a very intelligent question, Rohit. I'm sure you guys are all awake. I have few interesting facts before I actually answer his question. So, you know, India has total 19,101 PIN codes. We have close to 1.5 million schools, which you guys represent and lead. 8.5 million teachers like yourself, and 250 million school students as of today. Now, if I try and answer this question, what is the missing link? And I'm already apologizing for what I'm going to say, and you know, sorry on the stage while I'm sitting. See, we are teaching still with the 3 decades back old education system. We are still having books which have been written 20 years back. So there's nothing has changed. My kid, he's in 10th, and I feel sorry by seeing what he's going through. The rectification, there is, and he goes to a very good school. I can't name the school because it will not be okay from that point of view. But we are doing something terribly wrong. The students which are coming, getting ready to work in a corporate is not ready. You guys are वो कच्ची मिट्टी कुम्हार से आप जो बनाते हो इज़ नॉट रेडी. फॉरगेट कि पक गया है, पेंटेड तो बिल्कुल नहीं है. And we as an industry owners can't change it. We can't change it. You guys have to change it. Please involve us while you are crafting those careers and students. Get the industry experts come, have sessions. आपके schools में incubation centers बनाइए. I said right, 1.5 million schools, 8.5 million teachers. India has only 125 unicorns. उसमें से 85% unicorns profitable नहीं है. If you, every teacher focus on one student, only one student, and prepare them for entrepreneurship, not a job seeker but a job giver, the job will be great in next, let's say 1,000 days, 2,000 days, if we just go for it. I don't know, I'm saying a lot. It takes a lot to do things on the ground, but these are my 2 cents to begin with. If I'll get a opportunity, I'll pitch in again. But the idea is that you need to, we as ecosystem, school owners, you need to have an incubation center. उसको रिस्क टेकर बनाइए, जॉब सीकर मत बनाइए.
Okay. Really a great answer from Nitin ji. Now my second question is from Mr. Aditya Shankar Prasad, who is a Supreme Court lawyer and also a partner of managing partner of Prasad and Associate. So my question is to Aditya Shankar is that how government can help to bring entrepreneurship in school and colleges. Like as I see, like government is taking a lots of initiatives like Startup India and other initiative, as you are already like associated and like helping entrepreneurs as well in legal matters and institution as well and legal matters. How do you think government can play more active role?
Firstly, good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to see all of you here, and thank you, Rohit, for giving me the opportunity to come here and talk to all of you at the Indian School Awards. You see, today's India is a very different India. I was born, the year in which I was born, Indira Gandhi was Prime Minister. And the transitioning journey of India which I have seen, having come from a family which is also into public life, is something that has always very fascinated me. और आज का जो भारत है, जिस तरह से इवॉल्व कर रहा है, बदल रहा है, और इसके जो भविष्य का जो रास्ता तय हो रहा है, उसके मानक बहुत अलग हैं. हम लोग जब बड़े हो रहे थे, CBSE करिकुलम की पढ़ाई होती है, तो CBSE की पढ़ाई में कभी इनोवेशन को फॉस्टर नहीं किया गया, कभी आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स थिंकिंग को फॉस्टर नहीं किया गया. मैं पढ़ाई में बहुत अच्छा नहीं था. आई वॉज नॉट अ वेरी गुड स्टूडेंट, आई वॉज एन एवरेज स्टूडेंट. एंड देयर वर टाइम्स व्हेन आई यूज्ड टू फील सो डिप्रेस्ड, सो सफोकेटेड, कि मुझे लगता था कि कुछ कभी ज़िंदगी में कर भी पाऊँगा कि नहीं कर पाऊँगा. बिकॉज मैथ समझ में आती थी नहीं, फिज़िक्स समझ में आता था नहीं, केमिस्ट्री के फॉर्मूले कैसे बनते थे समझ में नहीं आता था, बायोलॉजी भी लिमिटेड समझ में आती थी. And the only subject which I liked somehow was civics, you know. And I used to, and in my class, लोग को लगता था कि यार ये civics पढ़ के क्या कर लेगा, because सबको history civics, किसी को history civics से problem है, किसी को math से problem है. मेरे साथ maths was a perennial pain. In fact, when I gave my 10th class board exams, तो मैंने मेरे एक senior थे मेरे स्कूल के, I went to a very good boarding school of the country. तो वो बहुत अच्छे थे मैथ्स में, और वो भी मेरी तरह बिहार से ही थे. तो मैंने उनसे पूछा कि सर बताइए कि मेरा कितना मार्क्स आ जाएगा. तो हम ट्यूशन लेते थे, और ट्यूशन लेने के बाद उन्होंने मुझे पूरा बताया कि ये बीपी थ्योरम, ये थ्योरम, पाइथागोरस थ्योरम सब कैलकुलेट करके कि तुमको 60 आ जाएगा. बोले पास हो जाएंगे ना? बोले हाँ पास हो जाओगे. तो हमारा जो देश का एजुकेशन सिस्टम है, इसमें चैलेंजेस से ज़्यादा डर है, और डर लीडरशिप को प्रोड्यूस नहीं करता। डर प्रोड्यूस करता है जॉब सीकर्स, व्हाट माय फ्रेंड सेड। डर प्रोड्यूस करता है कि चलो नौकरी मिल जाएगी, एक अच्छी पत्नी मिल जाएगी, एक छोटा सा घर बना लेंगे, मम्मी पापा खुश हो जाएंगे, जीवन कट जाएगा। ये जो सोच थी, ये 1947 के बाद की सोच थी, जब इंडिया एक सोशलिस्टिक कंट्री था। जब नेहरू जी ने भारत को बनाने की जो नींव रखी थी आज़ादी के बाद, भेल बनेगा, आपको बड़े बड़े उद्योग बनेंगे, जैसे आईआईएम्स हो गए, आईआईटीज़ हो गए। अभी क्या है कि जब भारत अब ग्लोबल एज पर आके खड़ा हो गया है, इंडिया फॉर मेनी ईयर्स, फ्रेंड्स, आई एम वेरी सॉरी टू से दिस एंड पार्डन माई सेइंग दिस, वाज अ होपलेस स्टोरी फॉर मेनी पीपल आउटसाइड अ नेशन। हमें कभी लगता ही नहीं था कि हम कभी ज़िंदगी में कुछ अचीव कर पाएंगे। पिछले 9 सालों में भारत में इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चरल चेंजेस इतने ज़्यादा आने लगे हैं, भारत की सोच में बदलाव आया है। डिजिटल इंडिया का जो रेवोल्यूशन हुआ, डिजिटल कनेक्टिविटी से जो एजुकेशन, सोशल लाइफ, आपको बाकी सारी चीज़ों में जो बदलाव है, हमारे खुद की सोचने की थिंकिंग में बदलाव आया। मैं आपको बताऊं, हमारे पेरेंट्स या हमारे फैमिली मेम्बर्स हु आर नाउ इन देयर 60s एंड 70s, जो नोट पैड पे फ़ोन नंबर नोट करते थे, आजकल व्हाट्सएप पे मैसेज भेजते हैं। और एंड समटाइम्स हम लोग सबको अम्यूज़ होता है, अरे देखो मैसेज भेज रही है, देखो बुआ मैसेज भेज रही है, देखो चाचा मैसेज कर रहे हैं। तो हम लोग को लगता है कि ज़माना कितना बदल गया है, कि जिन लोगों को वो छोटी वाली लाल रंग की डायरी पे नंबर लिखना आता था, आज वो व्हाट्सएप कर रहे हैं। मैं आपको ये सब इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ बिकॉज आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू कनेक्ट द डॉट्स, एंड एक भूमिका में बना रहा हूँ कि अब हम लोग को डर की भावना से निकल के जीतने की भावना पर काम करना है। एंड फियर विल नॉट क्रिएट एन इंडिया ऑफ 21st century a superpower, what Modi ji says. मोदी जी हैज़ ग्रेट आइडियाज़, ग्रेट इंटेंशन, बट सबसे बड़ी परेशानी क्या है हमारे देश में कि मानसिकता में बदलाव नहीं है। देर इज़ नो चेंज इन द माइंडसेट एज फार एज कि हमको जाना है तो क्यों जाना है, क्यों बच्चे रट रट के ही एग्ज़ाम देते हैं, क्यों बच्चों में वो क्रिएटिविटी स्पार्क नहीं होती है। मैंने अपने पूरी स्कूली शिक्षा में, मेरा बचपन से हमेशा यही सवाल रहा है कि हम लोग को लिखने में मज़ा क्यों नहीं आता, मार्क्स क्यों जज करते हैं हम लोग को। हम अच्छे बड़े बड़े आंसर अच्छा आप देखिए, आप तो मेनी ऑफ यू आर टीचर्स, आप देखिए जितना लंबा आंसर लिखोगे, जितना लंबा आंसर शीट पे भरोगे, उतने तुम इंटेलेक्चुअल स्टूडेंट हो जाओगे। बोर्ड एग्जाम में जितना पेपर भर रहा है, उतना अच्छा स्टूडेंट हो जा रहा है। कंटेंट क्या है? एक बात को हम 400 पेज, क्योंकि मैं लॉयर हूं, तो एक बात को हम लोग 400 पेज में भी लिखते हैं, एक ही बात को 4 पेज में लिखते हैं। आप जज के सामने मोटी पिटीशन दीजिए, वो आपके मुंह पे फेंक देते हैं, बोलते हैं क्या है ये, गिव अ 2 पेज समरी टू अस। तो हमारा जो एजुकेशन सिस्टम है, देखिए टेक्निकल बातें तो बहुत है कि लीडरशिप होता है, इनोवेशन होता है, ये है वो है, फलाना ढिमकाना, लेकिन जो बेसिक बात है कि मानसिकता को बदलने की ज़रूरत है, कॉन्कर्ड से कॉन्करर बनने की ज़रूरत है। भारतीय शिक्षा प्रणाली के लोग दुनिया की बड़ी बड़ी कंपनियों के बड़ी बड़ी हस्तियां हैं, ये बहुत अच्छी बात है, लेकिन ये मास स्केल नहीं है। क्यों भारत अपने नॉलेज से, अपने टेक्निकल इनोवेशन से, अपने इंटेलेक्ट से दुनिया नहीं जीत सकता? क्यों हम लोग दुनिया जीतने की बात करते हैं, लेकिन वही लोग आगे बढ़ते हैं जो इस सिस्टम से थके हुए हैं, और उनको थकने के बाद एक अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलती है एक क्रिएशन करने की। वाई डिड द ब्रेन ड्रेन हैपन इन द 90s? Of course, now the world is a globalized phenomenon, things are changing and people are coming to India, and now India is now rising. But we need to change this mindset is my first.
So let's come to the third question from our third guest, Mr. Arnav Sinha ji. Like we all know the brand of You Clean, and it is India's one of the biggest laundry brand, and Arnab ji is like alumni of IIT Bombay also. So my question is to Arnab ji, like how do you think like these students, what they learn in IITs or NITs or any foreign university, how it is different from any normal school, okay, any normal school or any normal like institution, and what are the major steps should be taken by these institutions, these other institutions, to make students more future ready for like industries, entrepreneurship, startups, and different fields.
Thank you, Rohit, and a very good afternoon, everyone. The first thing that I would like to point out is that when you talk about IITs and being one of the alumnus, I can say that a lot of entrepreneurship that you see coming out of IITs, a lot of startups coming out of IITs, raising funds, charting their own territory, a lot of it is actually peer-driven. So if you look at, because I come from IIT Bombay does not openly advocate entrepreneurship. While there is something called an entrepreneurship or an e-cell at IIT Bombay, but this is not an initiative which is backed by the management of the institute or is supported by the faculty. It is more of a student initiative. While faculty is there in the background, faculty might help you problem solve, but the initiative in most cases is taken by the students. So what I firmly believe is, and what I think IITs have done phenomenally well, is that they have allowed students to be creative. So they have never said that do not start an e-cell or do not get into entrepreneurship. The only thing that they say is that we do not have the background, we do not have the credentials or credibility to teach you entrepreneurship, because that is not what we are supposed to do. But if as students, as peers, you guys believe that entrepreneurship is something that you guys should understand, that you guys potentially would like to pursue at some point in time, or some point of time in your life, then you should do it. So I think this, and I do have friends who are from regional engineering colleges or people who are not from engineering colleges. What I have seen is that in their cases, they do face a lot of obstacles, in the sense you have the university professors or the management openly discouraging them, saying that they should not be wasting their time on building something like an entrepreneurship cell. They should rather focus on their academics. They should rather focus on getting a good CGPA so that they can land a good job. But I think one big difference between IITs, IIMs, and other colleges has been the fact that there is a lot of liberty to think, a lot of independence to do something new, while it might not be openly supported or while the faculty might not be great help, but they allow the students to, BITS Pilani, for example, has started allowing students to take a year off. If they have a brilliant business idea, they have made it official that if students of BITS Pilani have a brilliant business idea, they can drop 1 year, they can pursue that business idea. And if that idea doesn't take off in 1 year, they're more than welcome to come back and complete their education. So I think initiatives where maybe as an educational institution, as a university, you might have certain constraints to openly advocate it, but that should not stop you from encouraging your students to do something that is not run-of-the-mill stuff. And I think this is something that private universities as well as government universities should do, and a lot of them have started doing it, but there is still a long way to go.
Really a great point by Arnab ji. Like he just illustrated like how like these schools and institution can help students in more effective way. Now come to our fourth guest for today, Binay Singhal ji, who is founder of a Stage, one of the like biggest OTT platform in India. And my question to him is like, Binay sir, what do you think, like what are the skills students should need in school to pursue entrepreneurship in future, and how school can build ecosystem for entrepreneurship in school, in their school?
Thank you, Rohit. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, I'm not an educator, so I probably can't answer the question from a skill point of view. I'll try and share something that kind of worked out for me in life after school and during school or during college a little bit, and then if that could be fostered more, I think we'll end up with a brilliant education system. We'll end up with a generation which will be able to do more, etc., with their time in life. And I'll probably draw from all three guests which have spoken before me. See, in school, in life, in college, everywhere, as the educators, as the teachers, principals, all of you, and our parents, people around us, all of us, like motivate करना है बच्चों को, कामयाब करना है, success के लिए हम basically उनको train करते हैं. School basically बच्चे को कामयाब होना सिखाता है, successful होना सिखाता है, right? I think in my understanding, the idea of school and the idea of college should be exactly the opposite. What we should be training our children, what we should be training our students is to essentially fail and not to succeed. Success तो वो अपने आप सीख जाएंगे अगर उनको fail होना essentially आ जाएगा तो. People ask me if I trace back my journey of building stage and building a company before that, etc., and how did I end up there? I think it was because of one simple insight that I unlocked for myself when I was in college. During my first year, I started this company, and I realized that ये 4 साल मेरे 4 साल हैं essentially, है ना. इसमें वो कॉलेज के दौरान आप में इनफ उस समय पे इतना दिमाग भी होता है कि हाँ आप अपने करियर के बारे में, अपनी लाइफ के बारे में थोड़ा सोचने लग जाते हो, बट एट द सेम टाइम ना घर वालों का कोई प्रेशर है, ना कोई आपसे उस समय घर चलाने के लिए पैसा मांग रहा है, खर्चा मांग रहा है, उल्टा आपको कुछ ना कुछ दे ही रहे हैं, घर वाले सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, ना आप पे कोई और, ना बेसिकली बाहर की ज़िंदगी का कोई प्रेशर नहीं होता है. एंड आई कैन फेल एज मच एज आई वॉन्ट. बेसिकली आई कैन एक्सपेरिमेंट एज मच एज आई वॉन्ट. एंड जितना ज़्यादा ट्राई करते जाएंगे, जितना ज़्यादा कोशिश करते रहेंगे, जितना उस फ्रीडम को फील करेंगे, आई थिंक विल एंड अप एट सम पॉइंट आई थिंक समथिंग और द अदर विल वर्क. एंड सो आई थिंक हम लोग बहुत स्टिग्मेटाइज कर देते हैं फेल्योर को हमारे पूरे कल्चर में. आई थिंक इंडियन कल्चर हैज़ दिस ह्यूज स्टिग्मा विद फेल्योर. कोई स्कूल में फेल हो गया तो प्रॉब्लम, बच्चे सुसाइड्स कर लेते हैं स्कूल में, कितने सारे केसेस हम सुनते हैं डेली बेसिस पे. कॉलेज में ऐसा बहुत कुछ होता है. लाइफ में किसी का स्टार्टअप नहीं चला तो बोले उसके तो चले ही नहीं कंपनी, उसका ये नहीं हुआ, किसी को फंड रेज नहीं हुआ तो उसको स्टिग्मा, यूनिकॉर्न नहीं बना तो स्टिग्मा हो जाता है, वो इतना बड़ा अच्छा नहीं कर पाया करियर में आगे. बेसिकली वी एंड अप स्टिग्मेटाइजिंग दिस टू मच, राइट? whereas it's exactly the opposite. People who know how to fail, I think they end up doing better than most people out there. So my request, humble request to all of you, अब नितिन भाई जैसे बोल रहे थे, आप सबके हाथ में वो कच्ची मिट्टी वाले घड़े हैं जिनको आप पका रहे हो, जिनको आप बना रहे हो. My only humble submission to you would be that more than teaching them how to succeed, please teach them how to fail and then be proud of it. Thank you so much.
विनय जी ने बहुत ही अच्छा एक पॉइंट है ना हम लोग के साथ शेयर किया, लाइक हाउ टू लर्न फेलियर. लाइक फेलियर मैनेजमेंट है ना, आई थिंक वन ऑफ द मोस्ट अंडररेटेड स्किल्स है. Like we are like there is a like one story I will love to share with you. Okay, so there was a one student, he went like, he was so much like good in academics. He was like scoring like 98 99 in math, science. He went to IIT, then went to like Harvard University. Okay, but he after that he got a good job, good paying job, married to a good girl. Okay, and then one time came, like there was a crisis time of 2008. like I think like मैं तो बहुत छोटा हूँ कि है ना मैंने उसको फेस नहीं किया, but there are lots of people are here जिन्होंने उस क्राइसिस, फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस के दौरान उन्होंने इस चीज़ को फेस किया. ओके, so that guy who was living in US and having good job, like due to financial crisis he committed suicide. Okay, so like it was a like big struck moment. Like he went to IIT, like then Harvard University, and then like some big job, high paying job, but एक life में एक failure आ गया and he taken the big big step. Okay, so like University of Cambridge ने इसको publish भी किया. You can go and search about this case study, like how humans can be trained on failure management. I have written about this on my Quora, and like एक short film भी इस पे like they are making it. Okay, so I will wish कि है ना आप अपने स्कूल में, अपने कॉलेज में you just go and tell about like how to learn failure management. Okay, so we should not be trained for the only successes but also the failure management. Let's come to the fifth question from our fifth guest, Ojashvi Bhatia ji. Okay, so Ojashvi Bhatia ji is basically director of Head Start, one of the biggest entrepreneurship ecosystem provider. So Ojashvi ji, there are like you work with lots of startup. Like as I see, like Head Start helped like more than 2,000 plus startup in starting and getting funding and lots of things. Okay. So how do you think these students who are in school or colleges, like what are the basic what are the basic you can say that like what are the basic skills, okay, in digital field? Like we talk about lots about entrepreneurship, we'll talk about lots about other things, but what are the basic things they need as a entrepreneur in digital field? Like this is all about digital generation. So how do you think like how digital platforms can help them and how they can get benefited through? like बहुत सारा क्वेश्चन होता है कि हम लोग फेसबुक, इंस्टाग्राम या स्नैपचैट, मेरी छोटी बहन है तो मतलब मैं भी कंसर्न रहता हूँ कि वाई सी इज यूजिंग दिस प्लेटफॉर्म, ओके, कुछ गलत तो नहीं कर रही है, कुछ गलत तो नहीं होगा, तो आपको क्या लगता है कि इसका क्या प्रोस एंड कॉन्स हो सकता है एंड हाउ आर दीज प्लेटफॉर्म कैन हेल्प दीज स्टूडेंट्स?
Sure. Thanks, Rohit. Hey, everyone. The panel right after lunch, I think, is the most difficult panel because everyone is very sleepy, thankfully. We had our coffee before coming, so we are quite energetic about it. Guys, let's do a quick hands. How many of you know about Anushka Jolly? Anyone? No? No, Anushka Sharma to is a very like sab jante hain. So Anushka Jolly was is a 13-year-old person who was at Shark Tank India, and she got funds for her app called Quatch. 13-year-old. When I was 13-year-old, my only motive in life was कि वो 50 रुपए की पॉकेट मनी लेनी है, कैसे वो और 25 रुपए बचा के स्पेंड करने हैं. But everything is changing, and prominent speakers here talked about how things have changed. I need not reiterate how India has grown as a country. We are the third largest startup ecosystem across the world, heading towards a $5 trillion economy as well. But ये economy ऐसे नहीं बनेगी. We have to make sure students in schools, colleges start looking at job givers instead of job seekers. And I know a lot of students who have pursued entrepreneurship while in schools, while in colleges, but these are just very few of them. Handful of them, like I can count on my hands. Ideally, in this age of digitization where everyone has this very, very powerful device, smartphone, there is cheap internet accessible to everyone, abundance of knowledge which is putting on the internet. Everyone should be thinking about how do we become job givers. Back in my school, when I used to play a lot, my mom used to fondly say, "Padega, likhega, banega mahan, khelega, kudega, banega bekar." But still, we used to have a game period in my school. We had a dedicated slot for something in my college as well. But why don't we have something for innovation? Why don't we have something for entrepreneurship period in the school? Why don't we equip them with the kind of things that can help them build stuff? And today, you guys are not alone. So many big tech companies out there are also launching. I saw Dr. Saha is also, either he came in the morning or will come with CBSE. Lot of organizations are tying up with educators and educational institutions. But are we even promoting our students to be part of it? A lot of times, and I work in the space of AR, VR, a lot of times when I speak to someone, they feel both are same, but both of them are miles apart. वो awareness start होनी चाहिए school से, and then there should be a connected journey path. I learnt about a technology first in school, then I go and do a much complex or a complicated course in a college, and then I'm able to build my startup once I either in college or once I'm out of the college as well. So everyone should start thinking of connected journey. Lot of times we say, अच्छा college कर लेना, उसके बाद figure out कर ले करना क्या है. If you look at lot of our service-driven industries, they go and hire lots and lots of people from colleges, but then they say you have to go through a 4 month of training in my organization to learn what is required. What I studied in school, and I'm sure when Nitin was talking about his 10-year-old kid, they are studying the same thing, but everything around us has changed so much. You don't go to a PCO to make a call. You don't go to like lines of theater. You are watching a lot of content on OTT. So why not the ways in which we are making them do stuff? And organizations like Head Start can come and work with you to build those like Nitin also mentioned about incubation centers. I know there is something called Atal Tinkering Labs, which comes at school level, AICs that comes at college level. But again, you need to make sure that there is a very, very strong play of the industry that is working, collaborating with you to make sure that students are getting that right skill sets that they need there. We need not have, like India is also the largest population of youths, but and also produces a maximum number of engineering graduates every year. But how many of them are actually employable? And why are we even talking about, why do you go to a college and talk about क्या मेरे को 4 साल का कोर्स करने के बाद जॉब लगेगी कि नहीं लगेगी? Why can't we change the mindset and say इस 4 साल के अंदर क्या मैं ऐसा सीखूंगा कि I will start my own company? So I think those things are required. And Rohit, you also talked about digital platforms. You talked about a lot of content. I learned a lot of stuff on these platforms. Anything, anywhere I'm stuck, I quickly go on YouTube or Google and search how to do this. So there is a lot of content. Of course, you have to find a balance between कहाँ पे मैं सीख रहा हूँ और कहाँ पे I'm not learning. But that balance, I think every one of us have already started figuring out that balance as well. Lot of companies are saying आपका 1 घंटा आज इस platform पे हो गया, take a break. Lot of people have come up with kids mode for YouTube and a bunch of other apps as well. So make sure you follow that. But I think I can't agree more than what Nitin said, that you guys are the people who will shape the next set of entrepreneurs in the country, next set of startups, and that $5 trillion economy, you guys will play a very, very crucial and critical role in that. So I'm looking forward to getting more of Anushka Jollies where everyone raises the hand and say, I know this person, I know that startup, and it's up to you guys.
Thank you, Ojasvi ji, for sharing like one of the most valuable insights about like how we can get benefited from these social media platforms. Okay, so like मैं एक छोटा सा story मतलब share करना चाहूँगा. मेरी sister है, okay, she is in class 9, okay, and like one day she came to me and told me something like something insightful about Flutter. Flutter, I don't know आप लोग जानते हो कि नहीं, फ्लटर इज अ लैंग्वेज जिससे है ना ऐप डेवलपमेंट होता है. तो सी वॉज लर्निंग अबाउट इट. ओके, मैंने पूछा कि हाउ यू लर्न अबाउट दीज थिंग्स. ओके, तो उसने वो सी टोल्ड मी सी लर्नड इट फ्रॉम यूट्यूब. ओके, सो एज यू सी लाइक सोशल मीडियाज लाइक यूट्यूब, फेसबुक, इंस्टाग्राम, आजकल तो बच्चे लोग लिंक्डइन पे इफ यू सी लाइक 12 साल का बच्चा, 14 साल का बच्चा, they are doing incredible on these platforms. Okay, so I will love to ask one personal question from Nitin Sethi ji. Nitin sir, like you are leading digital platform for one of the biggest brand of this country. Okay, so like there are like lots of, you can say that lots of layoffs going on in society. Like as you know, like there are like lots of IITs जहाँ पे placement cancel हुई है इस साल. Okay, due to the financial crisis. Okay, so in this tough time, how do you think how student of school, colleges should prepare for these tough time in future also? So what are the insights you want to share?
It's a very, very smart question. So with every crisis, I think there are a lot of opportunities. We saw COVID, right? I think 20-30% people lost jobs, but those 20-30% people also got new age jobs. So, and with what we just witnessing in India, there are new streams. There are parallel digital twins being made. Any person who wants to work hard, is willing to change and learn, will have an opportunity. There is no dearth of opportunities. You have a good idea, you have figured out a little better way of doing the same stuff, you can create a new business model, you can create an opportunity and penetrate it. I don't think India is seeing any dearth of opportunities and jobs. What he was saying, $5 trillion economy, I believe that by 2028-30, we'll be a $8 to $10 trillion company, economy. And a brand like Adani, Reliance, Tata, Mahindra, Munjals. I think we need at least 50 to 100 more conglomerates or new age brands. I'm sure there are 2, 3 on this stage with me, with Stage and Uclean. But we need you to give India at least 10 to 15 entrepreneurs, each from each school, to create more of those brands. So I don't think India has a dearth of opportunities. India is in a golden era. We have thousands and thousands of jobs coming every month.
सो हमारे पास टाइम बहुत कम है लाइक आई विल आस्क फ्यू क्वेश्चन मोर एंड like I will love our guest can conclude those question in 2-3 minutes as soon as possible. Okay, so my next question is from Arnav Sinha ji. Okay, so Arnav sir, as you know, like there are lots of schools here. Okay, and like आप भी मतलब you went to school and IIT Bombay and then one of the biggest startup of this country. Okay, so हाउ डू यू थिंक कि है ना मतलब स्कूल में क्या एक्टिविटीज़ बच्चों को करनी चाहिए दैट कैन हेल्प यू टू बिकम अ गुड एंटरप्रेन्योर और अ गुड मैनेजर इन फ्यूचर?
So in fact, I would like to actually first add to what Nitin was saying, and this might sound like a sales pitch, but it is actually not a sales pitch. So we are talking about layoffs, and a lot of layoffs have happened in the recent past across some of the biggest companies in India. And Rohit was mentioning about the IITs. A lot of placements were cancelled because the companies were going through financial crunch, so they were not prepared to hire. But there's a very strong under theme in India right now that is going on, which a lot of people do not realize, which is the rise of micro entrepreneurship. India overall, if you look at the numbers, India is a country of shopkeepers. Literally every family in India, in any part of the country, in a small village, town or city, everybody harbors a dream, has an aspiration that they want to own some kind of a business. It could be a side business, it could be a direct business, but literally every family in India has that aspiration, has that dream that they want to own a business of some kind. So what has happened with the layoffs in the recent past, and since I run a company that is into the franchising business, what we have seen is in the last 12 to 15 months, a lot of people who have taken up franchisees of Uclean, they are people that have been laid off. So someone who was laid off at Facebook, someone who was laid off by Google, someone who was laid off by some other company, they suddenly started realizing that jobs are no longer as secure as they used to be. The only reason why people did not want to become entrepreneur in the past was because jobs were considered to be a safety net. मेरे पास जॉब है, मेरी जॉब कभी नहीं जाएगी, and that is why I don't want to take that leap of faith, despite having that aspiration, having that dream of becoming an entrepreneur. But unfortunately, because of what has happened in this country over the last 1.5, 2 years, a lot of people have started realizing that jobs potentially are as insecure or as secure as a business. And a lot of people, because not everybody who loses a job today and wants to do a business would get a startup idea. So people are starting to look at other avenues like franchising. People are starting to look at micro entrepreneurship as a very viable lifetime career option. And that is
तू जब तक चुप नहीं होगा 2 franchise नहीं बिकेंगी, right?
Yeah, so that is something that has happened. And yeah, since Nitin has already done the pitch, so we do franchise. We are a hardcore franchising company. We run a business called Uclean. We are in the laundry and dry cleaning business. We are present in about 120 cities of India, and we are looking to grow. So as educators, if you want to take that leap of faith, want to become micro entrepreneurs, please reach out to us on www.uclean.in.
Good sales pitch. So my next question is to Mr. Aditya Shankar ji, and I will like Aditya ji will conclude this question as short as he can. Okay, my next question is to from him is like he went to Cornell University, he went to some big institution. Okay, so Aditya ji, what is the one thing you see that is missing in Indian education system, and we must do that to make these young peoples, young school student, young college student to be an industry leader?
Well, as I said before, Rohit, we need to be more globally competitive. Our systems are based on rote learning, ROTE. And the fact that when you enter school, when you give your board exams, when you give your college exams, like I was in St. Stephen's College, okay? Now we were given assignments to write tutorials for our history honors classes, and we were supposed to, like say for example, ancient India is one paper, modern India is one paper, the freedom struggle is one paper. अब आप जो असाइनमेंट मिलता है उसमें कोई लिमिटेशन नहीं है कि आप कितने पेजेस भर सकते हैं. अगर मैं सब्सटेंस क्या है, तथ्य क्या है, आप जो बात बोलना चाह रहे हैं या आपकी एक सोच है, सपोज करिए कि आपको भारतीय फ्रीडम स्ट्रगल का जो इतिहास है उसको आपको उसका सार बताना है कि उसकी कहानी कहाँ से शुरू हुई, कहाँ ख़त्म हुई. आपने उसको 4 पेज में समरी कर दिया. उसमें आपने नॉन कॉपरेशन मूवमेंट, खिलाफत मूवमेंट, इंडियन इंडिपेंडेंस, द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट 1935 जो मॉन्टेगू केन्स फॉर रिफॉर्म्स था, आपने उसमें सारी चीज़ें डाल दी. अब टीचर की आत्मा को तब तक संतुष्टि नहीं होती जब तक 10 पेज का वो असाइनमेंट नहीं होता. मुझे 10 ऑथर्स को कोट करने की ज़रूरत क्यों है? मुझे सबॉल्टन ऑल्टर्न हिस्टोरियंस को कोट करने की ज़रूरत क्यों है? मेरी सोच है कि हम इतिहास के छात्र के नाते अगर अपनी बात को संक्षिप्त तरीके से इन अ शॉर्ट फॉर्म बता दें कि ये हमारे देश का इंडिपेंडेंस का जर्नी रहा है, हमारी बात खत्म हो गई. कोट सम रेलेवेंट हिस्टोरियंस, कोट सम रेलेवेंट न्यूज़पेपर्स और सम रीडिंग्स एंड दैट्स अबाउट इट एंड कंक्लूड विथ योर असेसमेंट. तो प्रॉब्लम यहाँ है, जैसे मैंने कहा कि फ्रॉम द फियर ऑफ बीइंग कॉन्कर्ड वी मस्ट बिकम द कॉन्करर. Indian education system no doubt has produced no doubt great talents of the world, but please forget the system has suffocated them and then they have chosen to depart from this country and make a name for themselves outside. तो ये अब एक reflection की ज़रूरत है, because now after 75 years of India's independence we are at the cusp of change, and now I think the new NEP has come in which a lot of changes have been made. But I think more than the NEP, because I was studying under the 1985 NEP, जब मैंने स्कूल की पढ़ाई की थी, और वो पढ़ रहे थे हम 2002 में. तो आप जो इतना मोटा मोटा किताब से आप पढ़ के लिखते हैं, जैसे फिजिक्स की किताब आती है लखमीर सिंह मंजीत कौर, अब आपको एग्जाम देना है तो आपको उसको पूरी किताब आपको जो है एकदम वर्ड बाय वर्ड पढ़ना पड़ता है, आपको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है कि क्या है. तो ये रोड बेस्ड सिस्टम जो है, इंस्टेड ऑफ रोड इट शुड फोकस ऑन क्रिएटिविटी, इट शुड फोकस ऑन इनोवेशन, it should focus on developing the inherent talent of a student. जब मैं 8th क्लास में था, मुझे मैथ्स पढ़ने का मन नहीं था. मैं क्यों मैथ्स पढ़ूं? मेरा इंटरेस्ट ही नहीं है मैथ्स में. आई वॉन्ट टू फोकस ऑन लॉ, गवर्नेंस, पॉलिटिक्स. आई वॉन्ट टू फोकस ऑन इंटेलेक्चुअल स्कॉलरशिप. मुझे मैथ्स नहीं पढ़ना. सिमिलरली किसी को हिस्ट्री नहीं पढ़ना. तो हमारे देश का जो एजुकेशन सिस्टम है कि आपको ज़बरदस्ती ये पढ़, अच्छा जैसे 10th क्लास में आप इतिहास पढ़ते हैं, अगर आपने +2 में ह्यूमैनिटीज़ या 11th 12th में, तो आपको वही चीज़ को वापस पढ़ना पड़ेगा बड़े स्तर पे. तो हमारा जो देश का जो एजुकेशन सिस्टम है उसमें इनकन्सिस्टेंसी बहुत है. रोड सिस्टम लर्निंग नहीं है. कॉन्करर बनने की ज़रूरत है, कॉन्कर्ड बनने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. फियर साइकोसिस ख़त्म होना चाहिए और मानसिकता में बदलाव आना चाहिए कि ये 21वीं सदी का भारत है, ये उभरता भारत है. इट्स एन इमर्जिंग एस्पिरेशनल इंडिया एंड इट मस्ट रिफ्लेक्ट इन व्हाट द पीपल ऑफ दिस कंट्री वांट टू अचीव फॉर देयर नेशन.
Okay, so it was really a fascinating session and we have learned a lot. I hope like मैं तो बहुत कुछ लेके जा रहा हूँ इन लोग से लर्न करके. I hope आप लोगों ने भी बहुत कुछ सीखा होगा, बहुत कुछ जाना होगा. And like इन्होंने बहुत अच्छे insights दिए that can help in any institution and building future of this country. And I will like to close this session here. And it was really a great honor to host you all guys. And अर्नब भैया मेरा परसेंटेज दे दीजिएगा अगर यू क्लीन का फ्रेंचाइज यहाँ से बिका तो.
I'll request just a second if you could please remain sitting. So मेरे को एक क्वेश्चन प्रॉम्प्ट किया गया to all of you very quickly because यहाँ बहुत सारे स्कूल प्रिंसिपल्स हैं यहाँ पर. So very direct, it's a very cliche question. Entrepreneurship क्यों important है स्कूल में? If you can quickly wind this up, and then there's another question out of curiosity. But abhi ke liye, when we're talking about entrepreneurship, you're all entrepreneurs and faces of your brands that you represent. बट वो स्कूल लेवल पे क्यों इंपॉर्टेंट है? जब हमने चेंज की बात की, आई थिंक बहुत जल्दी जो हम 18 साल में सीखते थे, आज वो बच्चे 12 या 13 में सीख रहे हैं। एक्सेस ऑफ इन्फॉर्मेशन है, कॉम्पिटिशन ज़्यादा है इन एवरीथिंग. So just a couple of words maybe if you can wind up for all of us, entrepreneurship's importance at the school level.
Sure. I can start and feel free to add. I think maximum time that a student spends is in the school. And apart from parents, the maximum time somebody spends with is with the teacher. And if you are able to start as early as possible, which is the school, then is when you will be able to have a very, very connected journey. आप कॉलेज में आ रहे हैं तब आप entrepreneurship सुन रहे हैं. Like I heard about entrepreneurship for the first time when I moved to Bangalore. I studied in this part of the country and nobody was talking about entrepreneurship 10-15 years ago. And then I realized, oh, there is something called entrepreneurship, and I took that entrepreneurship plunge after my college. I could have started in school, I could have started in college, but I was very, very late to the kitty. So they should start early, and that is where schools will play a role. And the other thing which I want to add is how you have so many teachers across different verticals in your school. Have someone who is also able to bring in entrepreneurship in the school. And the person should be responsible for making sure he's connected to the industry, he's bringing industry folks to your schools. The sooner you give them exposure, the sooner they will get to know that I don't have to find that job which my dad is doing, or which they would have seen all throughout their life कि हर जना एक job पे जाता है 9 से 5 की. They would realize that अब मुझे jobs create करनी है, and the first step is school. So that is my 2 cents on this. Anyone else?
I'll just modify the question for you, sir. The extension to this. क्या आपको लग रहा है हम by every passing day entrepreneurship को उतनी importance दे पा रहे हैं at school level? Like if you pick up the last 5 years, what is the graph that you could read?
No, so you are apt on asking this. Are we changing, and are we changing for good?
Right.
I think absolutely. Look at the number of startups we are doing. Look at the number of SMEs. We are 30 million SMEs, growing 8% year on year. That we are changing now. Again, if we need to grow 3x, 4x, that change has to come early, and that change has to come solid, which is happening. Do we need to do more? Absolutely. Have we done enough? No. So, but I think all of you patiently sitting here, listening to us is a testimony of that. We are all aligned. We are all vested. And I think there is no better time to start now.
Right. So very quickly, what was the first time when you heard the word entrepreneurship, honestly?
College first year. Just one thing that I wanted to add to your question of why should we introduce entrepreneurship in the school? To understand what is entrepreneurship, for that, I think in my version of the definition of entrepreneurship is that an entrepreneur essentially is someone who will observe their surrounding very closely, identify problems, and then figure out solutions which can possibly turn into business at some point. It's as simple as that, right? And that is a mindset thing, like sir was telling, so what कई बार जब ऐसा सुनते हैं कि स्कूल में और स्कूल में ही अभी धंधे चलवा दें क्या, इनके दुकान खुलवा दें क्या, या कंपनी, we are not essentially asking you to do that. What we are saying is that foster the mindset of problem solving, foster the mindset of finding solutions when they see problems around them, and foster the mindset of how can they convert them into a business probably at some point. If you can foster that mindset probably in school itself, or when they come to the college, or at some point in life, that will come in very handy, and they'll become job creator instead of job seekers. And that's the expectation that we are putting on your side essentially when we are saying.
Edis, you'd like to add something on this?
I think my friends have made very valid points. मैं एक बहुत बेसिक बात कहना चाहूँगा जो मेरा इतने सालों का ऑब्जर्वेशन है. हम लोग के एजुकेशन सिस्टम में एजुकेशनल डिस्कनेक्ट बहुत ज़्यादा है. बाय एजुकेशनल डिस्कनेक्ट मीन्स बच्चा क्या चाह रहा है और बच्चे को कराया क्या जा रहा है. स्कूल में अगर हमारे एजुकेशन सिस्टम में, जैसे कि हम लोग तो जब लेट 90s अर्ली 2000 में व्हेन वी फिनिश आवर स्कूलिंग, तो आपको पढ़ना है तो पढ़ना है. एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप का कल्चर उतना था नहीं. आइदर दोज हु केम फ्रॉम बिजनेस फैमिलीज, दे वर सेड कि चलो भाई फैमिली का लेगेसी है, उसको कैरी ऑन करना है. सबसे बड़ी बात क्या है कि अगर किसी बच्चे को पढ़ाई में मन नहीं लगता है तो हमारे टीचर्स का एक रोल है, बिकॉज आई एम ऑल्सो द सन ऑफ अ प्रोफेसर माई सेल्फ. माई मदर इज अ हिस्ट्री प्रोफेसर, सो आई हैव सीन एजुकेशन सिस्टम फॉर लास्ट 40 years. अगर बच्चे को पढ़ाई में मन नहीं लग रहा है तो सबसे पहले ये जानने की ज़रूरत है कि उसको पढ़ाई में मन नहीं लग रहा है, उसका कारण पढ़ाई है या उसकी चिंता कुछ और है. और अक्सर हमारे सिस्टम में डर की भावना इतनी ज़्यादा होती है कि टीचर डांट देगा, हमको छड़ी पड़ जाएगी, तुम पढ़ते क्यों नहीं हो, क्लास क्यों नहीं अटेंड करते, होमवर्क क्यों नहीं करते. क्यों होमवर्क नहीं करते? क्या पता कि आजकल 12-13 साल में उसको एक अपनी कंपनी बनाने का शौक है. मैं तो 3-3, 4-4 साल के बच्चों को देखता हूँ आईपैड पे ऐसे खेलते हैं जैसे प्रोज नहीं खेलते. फटाफट स्वाइप करते हैं, फटाफट ऐप खोलते हैं, फटाफट डाउनलोड करते हैं, फटाफट ऑर्डर करते हैं. तो अब जनरेशनल चेंज जो आ गया है और जो सोच में बदलाव आ रही है लोगों में, पेरेंट्स आर मोर प्रोएक्टिव. पहले था कि भाई बच्चे हो गए, बेटा स्कूल में चला गया, बेटी स्कूल में चली गई, फादर अपने काम में व्यस्त है, मदर अपने काम में व्यस्त है. नो, अब वो ज़माना चेंज हो गया. नाउ किड्स नीड दैट टाइम एंड पेरेंट्स हैव टू गिव इट, बिकॉज एक इनहेरेंट सेंस ऑफ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आ रही है कि मेरा बच्चा है, हमको उसको पढ़ाना है, हमको उसको ग्रूम करना और हमको उससे पूछना है कि बेटा तुम क्या करना चाहते हो. सिमिलरली हमारे टीचिंग सिस्टम में एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप से ज़्यादा किड के बेसिक नीड को समझने की ज़रूरत है कि व्हाट कैन आई डू टू हेल्प योर लाइफ बी बेटर. तुम जीवन में क्या, अगर तुम्हारा पढ़ाई में मन नहीं लगता तो तुम्हारा किस चीज़ में मन लगता है? गाने में मन लगता है, या तुम लीडरशिप. जैसे मैं जब स्कूल में था, आई कम फ्रॉम अ पॉलिटिकल बैकग्राउंड, तो मैं जब बचपन में, मुझे लोग बोलते थे कि मुझे देश के लिए कुछ करना, हंसते थे मेरे ऊपर सब. I want to do something for the country. I want to be a good lawyer. I want to be a good politician. I want to work for the upliftment of the society. And I want to do multiple things. अरे ये तो नेता बनेगा, इसको क्या है? तो ये जो कॉन्डिसेंडिंग जो माइंडसेट है, कॉन्डिसेंडिंग माइंडसेट को चेंज करने की ज़रूरत है. सब कोई अपने संघर्ष से गुजर रहा है. जिन बच्चों को आप पढ़ाते हैं, जो बच्चा अपने क्लास में आता है, भले वो अपने घर में अपने माँ बाप के साथ रह रहा हो, जो भी कर रहा हो, उसकी अपनी एक चेष्टा है, उसका एक अपना डिज़ायर है. वी नीड टू फिगर दैट आउट, दैट व्हाट विल हेल्प हिम टू मेक हिम अ बेटर इंडिविजुअल and a better leader, an inspirational personality. The moment inspiration comes, whether that person is an entrepreneur or a society builder, change will automatically follow and he'll set on his path. That's what I believe.
Anup sir, I'll just modify this question for you once. They say the only thing that's constant is change. We're changing, which is a fantastic thing. But with this, the rapid speed that the world is changing and evolving, do you think we are matching the pace and the speed when we talk about entrepreneurship in school?
So I think the change has already begun in India. So my daughter, I'll give you an example. My daughter, she's very young, she's 5 years old, but she goes to a pretty good school in Delhi. And this school organizes a lot of competitions, and one of them was this business competition where it was a startup competition which was open to students of 8th, 9th and 10th standards from that school. And they had called me upon as one of the judges for that competition. And there were 6 business ideas that had been shortlisted. And I'm not lying when I say that I literally wanted to copy 3 of them. They were such good business ideas. I have not yet copied them, but they were phenomenal business ideas. And honestly, I'd never thought about it. And these were students of 8th and 9th standard and brilliant business ideas. And when I spoke to these students further, the winners of these 3 super ideas, when I spoke to them further, I realized that they created those business ideas because they enjoyed it. So one of them, she was a big fan of singing and she was trying to create a music app. There was someone who was very good with numbers, who was literally a mathematics wizard. He was trying to build something out of numbers. There was somebody who enjoyed gaming, so he was trying to code and become a gamer, and he had created a fantastic app which was more or less like an aggregation of games. So I think the idea, my simple submission is that a lot of these students actually want to do something which is innovative. They are already pursuing something. They might be great singers, they might be very good with numbers, they might be very good with literature. Then why can't we encourage them to build a business idea out of it? It is only going to challenge them further. It is only going to help them build something that can potentially outlast them their lifetime.
Super. One final question before I let you gentlemen go. This is a very personal question because this is a belief that I have. That tomorrow, the people who are going to, in the long term, exist and excel and succeed are going to be the people who know how to unlearn things rather than learn things. I think इसके बारे में बहुत कम लोग बात करते हैं जो स्कूल लेवल पे शुरू हो जाना चाहिए. We learn a lot of things, but हमारे एक ब्रेन की कुछ कैपेसिटी होती है, आप उसको कितना भी एक्सपैंड कर सकते हो. There is going to be a moment when there is too much to absorb, too much to consume. So the right moment to actually stay in hunt and stay in excel for a longer period is how to unlearn and then learn again and unlearn and learn again. If any one of you would want to just close this, that how can we do that? Because it's a very fast switching era that we're living in. क्या ये statement सही है पहली चीज? दूसरा, क्या हम ऐसा कर सकते हैं और कैसे कर सकते हैं?
देखिए, मैंने इस चीज़ को अपने लाइफ में प्रैक्टिस किया है. जब मैं स्कूल से निकला था तो आई वॉज अ वेरी रॉ पर्सन. व्हेन आई फिनिश्ड माई कॉलेज आई बिकेम इवन रॉर, एंड व्हेन आई फिनिश्ड माई लॉ आई वॉज ब्लैंक. So what I was taught in school, what I was taught in college, and what I was taught in law school, including the one which I attended in the US, I was a completely different person. And then when again I came back to India, मैंने फिर से अपने ecosystem को तैयार करना शुरू किया. फिर से मैंने अपने लॉ के नॉलेज पे काम किया, अपने इंग्लिश पे काम किया, अपने लीगल एप्टीट्यूड पे काम किया, और मुझे लगा यार फिर से स्टार्ट करना पड़ेगा, फिर से कैसे करूँगा. तो ये एक बहुत डर होता है. देखिए, डर में दो चीज़ें बहुत ज़रूरी हैं, खुद के ऊपर भरोसा और दूसरा मेहनत में कोई कमी नहीं होनी चाहिए. अगर ये दो चीज़ें आपके पास हैं तो यू कैन फाइट योर वे आउट ऑफ एनी गिवन सिचुएशन. द विल पावर शुड बी स्ट्रांग. दैट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट.
Right. So you agree with the statement?
Absolutely.
It is the era of unlearn and learn and unlearn and learn. Keep doing that.
I have done it myself. I know it.
Great. Anyone, gentlemen, anyone?
I can add to what he mentioned. My uncle used to work with SBI. Now he's retired, and I'm sure all of you at some point in time would have walked into a SBI bank. And he came from a era जब पासबुक को हाथ से भरते थे, सारे रिकॉर्ड्स रजिस्टर पे होते थे, and then they came computers. And he was like, I will not include computers in my branch. But over a period of time, karna pada because technology is evolving. And now he loves doing that. So change is the only constant, is what I've learned throughout my life. And unlearn and learn will keep on happening. Who would have thought about AI and everything couple of years back? Who would have thought about experiential learning couple of years back? But it's changing and you need to learn.
I just want to add to what my friend is saying. मैं अपने प्रोफेशन का एग्जाम्पल आपको देता हूँ. आई एम अ लॉयर बाय प्रोफेशन. आई प्रैक्टिस इन द सुप्रीम कोर्ट. एंड जब कोविड आया था तो आप जानते हैं कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट देश का सबसे सर्वोच्च कोर्ट है, और बहुत सालों से इसकी एक डिमांड हुई कि साउथ में भी इसका बेंच होना चाहिए. तो majority of the judges, including the Chief Justice of India, then Chief Justice of India, I know this from very personal quarters because I've had the experience of seeing governance from very close quarters. Majority of the judges were against the idea of virtual hearing. अरे कोर्ट की मजेस्टी खत्म हो जाएगी, क्या होगा, ये होगा, वो होगा. आज वर्चुअल हियरिंग इतना पॉपुलर हो चुका है. आप अपने मतलब कोविड में तो ये हाल था कि मैं अपने घर के ऑफिस में बैठे बैठे सुप्रीम कोर्ट में अपेयर कर रहा था. आई हैव 2 offices, one in Delhi, one in Patna. I am sitting in my Patna office and appearing before Honorable Chief Justice of India, and sometimes before the Patna judges or any other High Court, Madras or Bombay, sitting in my Delhi office. And वैसे ही कोर्ट चलता है जैसे नॉर्मल कोर्ट चलता है. वैसे ही जज बैठता है, ऑर्डर पास होता है, डिक्टेशन होती है, आर्ग्यूमेंट होता है, सब चीज़ होता है, ऑनलाइन होता है. एक वकील अपने घर से बैठा हुआ है, दूसरा वकील अपने ऑफिस से बैठा हुआ है, क्लाइंट अपने वर्चुअल कॉन्फ्रेंस से जुड़े हुए हैं, और पूरा जस्टिस जो डिस्पेंसेशन का सिस्टम है वो अपना चलता है. तो टेक्नोलॉजी ने लाइफ को बहुत लेवरेज किया है और बहुत लेवल किया है. इसीलिए द आइडिया ऑफ लर्निंग एंड अनलर्निंग, कमिंग बैक टू योर आइडिया, so the judges also learned, the legal profession also learned, and the idea was subsequently dropped कि हम लोग को साउथ में बेंच की ज़रूरत है, because आप मद्रास में बैठे बैठे सुप्रीम कोर्ट में अपेयर हो सकते हो, आप बॉम्बे में बैठे बैठे सुप्रीम कोर्ट में अपेयर हो सकते हो. तो ये जो इंटीग्रेशन हुआ है टेक्नोलॉजी के माध्यम से, तो लर्निंग एंड लर्निंग पहले जितना अपोज किया उतना ही सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं हम. तो ये बदलाव धीरे धीरे आता है और हमारा समाज अब बहुत बदल चुका है पहले से. इट्स मतलब ये लगातार एक प्रोसेस चल रहा है.
Thank you so much. Gentlemen, anyone who want to add? That's it. एक बार जोरदार ताली. I think we've had a lot to absorb and consume. I will now call upon Akshay yet again to felicitate our moderator and the judges. Can you quickly have Akshay on the stage? Akshay Ahuja. We'll start by felicitating our moderator, Rohit Kashyap. Please give it up, guys. Everyone, the moderator for this panel, Rohit. I then ask Akshay to felicitate Ojasvi Bhatia, the director for Head Start. Our next panelist, Mr. Nitin Sethi, SVP, Chief Digital Officer, Consumer Business at the Adani Group. Guys, please put your hands together. I'm sure this is the last time that I'm asking you to put your hands, because iske baad we are moving over to the honorary ceremony pretty soon. Next on the list of the panelists, we have Mr. Vinay Singhal, the co-founder and CEO of Stage, building a premium, and I love the word when he adds, sensible content company for Bharat. That's Mr. Vinay Singhal. Our next panelist, Mr. Aditya Shankar Prasad, advocate for the Supreme Court of India and the managing partner for Prasad and Associates. Thank you so much, sir. Those were some very stern words and statements. Thank you so much. And last on the list of our panelists, Arunabh Sinha, the founder and CEO, Uclean. Ek baar zordar taaliyan. And thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you so much for framing all of our minds. Yes, please.